Good evening to you. Here we go again. The second part of the previews for the Breeders' Cup weekend upcoming. Obviously, the other day I did a quick little part looking at what they're marketing as Future Stars Friday. Well, tonight I'm going to rattle through the races on the Saturday, 9 of them that there are, starting at 4 o'clock our time here in the UK. I'm not going to try and go too much in depth again. Firstly, as I mentioned before, weather watch, keep an eye on the skies, as they say, or at least the skies out there. See what's going to happen and what may be occurring. Obviously, that's going to really affect the going out there at Churchill Downs. And secondly, listen, if I try to go too in depth on all of them here, blimey, we'll be here for about 2 hours, and you don't want to spend 2 hours of your life listening to me rattling on about nothing really. So we're going to rattle through them as quickly as I can, starting with the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint, which of course is the first race of the Breeders' Cup races anyway, on Saturday at 4 o'clock our time, as I say. I think I finished the Friday piece on a Bob Baffett horse. I'm going to start the Saturday piece on a Bob Baffett horse. It's an horse called Marley's Freedom. She's been on a 4-race winning streak, as they would call it out there in America. 3 of those wins coming since she moved to Baffett's barn. She looks handy. She won the Ballerina Stakes last time. She does look handy. She's short for a reason, but she might be one to get the night off to a flyer for jolly backers. One that's in there, we haven't seen her for a while, is a horse called Cell Court. In fact, when we last see her, she beat the Jolly at Santa Anita. But she hasn't been seen since. Apparently, there's been a few niggles. She's been aimed at this. Is she fit and raring to go? Therein is the problem. And obviously, it would appear that the Jolly has improved an awful lot since they met back in March. Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. Stormy Liberal is back again. He won the race last year at 40 to 1. Bit of a shock when he won it last year, truth be told. Certainly shocked me because I didn't have him on my mind. He's been finding a bit of form though, and perhaps, just perhaps, he might be peaking at the right time again this year. So he's obviously one that you perhaps got to consider. Disco Partner lines up. Now, he was 3rd in this last year. I think he's probably the most consistent of all the horses lining up. His problem is he's got an habit of running a good race without actually winning it. But it could be his time. It could be his night in the spotlight. He's certainly one to consider. Lost Treasure goes out for Ballydoyle. Perhaps not one of their sort of major horses as such, but this might not be the greatest sprint you've ever seen either. So certainly got to be considered, Lost Treasure. And of course, Havana Grey. Good old Havana Grey goes out there for Carl Burke. Another one that must be on your shortlist, surely. Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. Catalina Cruiser is a very warm order for this, and was certainly impressive. Won the Pat O'Brien Stakes at Del Mar in August. That was over 7, but very impressive, very impressive. I'd also won at the same track over 1.5 miles a furlong a couple of months before that. This looks like the ideal sort of trip, and Catalina Cruiser has been impressive, I say, in what it's been doing. City of Light might be the one there, perhaps to give the Jolly the most to think about, but it's possible there could be another Jolly there in the Dirt Mile, Catalina Cruiser. Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf. Listen, big European contingent gone out for this one. No great surprise there. They go over the 1 mile, 3 furlong trip. Wild Illusion. What a season she's had. What a lovely filly she is. If what she's done so far hasn't sort of taken too much out of the tank as such, she's got to have a big chance, hasn't she? I think she's about 2 to 1. Listen, I wouldn't want to lay you 3 to 1, that's for sure. You wouldn't get no carpet with me. Ain't happening. She's got to be on your shortlist. Magic One goes out for Ballydoyle. Good horse, but she's seen the backside of Wild Illusion a couple of times already this season. I think she's going to be looking at the backside of Wild Illusion again, if I'm being totally honest. And Dermot World sends one out. Good old Dermot. Izira goes out for him, and that's obviously got a chance of going well out there as well. The Breeders' Cup Sprint, for me, personally, I've been looking at this race a lot, scratching the old noggin quite a lot. I think this could be just about one of the trickiest eats of all weekend as far as punters are concerned. I've come to the conclusion Imperial Hin absolutely loves this trip. It's perfect sort of trip for him. Anything further, he ain't quite so clever. He's won G1s. He's been winning Grade 1s out there, Saratoga and Belmont Park in the run-up to this. Listen, he's got a big chance. He's got a big chance. That said, Roy H beat him last year in this race, and he's back for more. And a 6-year-old was looking handy in his last race. Where was that? He won at obviously Delmar last year. He looked well in his race, last race. He's got to be on your shortlist, got to be. And Promises Fulfilled is another to consider. But I say that is a bit of a wide open race at the moment, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, I'm certainly going to wait on the weather for that one, just to see sort of if there's any hints there, perhaps of what we should be backing if it comes up. Obviously on the wet side out there. The Breeders' Cup Mile. I'm going to go and listen. Huge raiding party gone out for this one, as you would expect. Polly Dream has travelled over from France. My concern perhaps is its style of running. Found all sorts of trouble last time, obviously at Longchamp. Try to do that here, he's probably going to find trouble again as well. So that's a concern with Polly Dream. Expert Eye and Mustashri go out from the Sir Michael Start Yard. Got to be on your shortlist, got to be. Aidan O'Brien's chucked 4 darts at it. He's having a right go at this one. I Can Fly and Gustav Clint would appear to be his main hopes. And, wait for it, the Yanks have got one. If you get the chance, if you've never seen this horse run, Google Oscar Performance. The 2016 Juvenile Turf winner at the Breeders' Cup. Been aimed at this. I'm wondering if this one might just go ping out the stalls, catch me if you can, and our lot might all just sort of get themselves in a bit of scrimmaging behind and no one end up catching it. Got to be considered. If you don't know the horses, I say Google it. Oscar Performance. Got to put it on your shortlist. The Breeders' Cup Distaff. It's all about the Yank horses. Obviously, this one, no great surprise there. Mon Ami Girl is looking at the moment for me the most likely winner. She was having a perfect 2018 until she was disqualified and placed second in her last race in the Cottalion Stakes last time. I've watched the race. I'm not really too sure why she got disqualified, to be honest with you. But she did, and she was placed second. But listen, you know, she really had been on a run of form up until that point. And obviously, I say she was first past the post in that race. Abel Tasman is one that's back, was second last year and having another go at it. And the horse that was given the race that Mon Ami Girl lost, and that is Midnight Baizu. She's there as well. But listen, I've got a feeling that the girl will probably be gaining some revenge, to be honest with you, in that for the Breeders' Cup Distaff. Breeders' Cup Turf. History in the making time, isn't it? And Abel's gone out there. Can she do it? Plenty of people have been talking about this. I think everyone knows the stats. Was it 7 ARC winners have gone out that season to try and win the turf, try and do the follow-up, and have failed. It's a hell of a stat, isn't it? I mean, it's a big old stat. But, and it's a but, it's got to be remembered here. Aya Chaparral, for example, obviously went well twice in the ARC, came third in the ARC twice. And then went out and won the Breeders' Cup Turf. I think his problem, quite simply, is he didn't go right-handed at Longchamp. So it's not impossible. It's not impossible for an horse to run well in the ARC and go out there and win the turf. Andre Fabre has also had a couple of ones that have done it in the past where they've run well in the ARC and then gone out and won the turf. So listen, it's not impossible at all. And if an Abel was only, 80% fit or whatever it was, Gosden reckons she was when she won the ARC, listen, she's got to have a massive chance, hasn't she? Massive. She's on top for a reason. It's a little bit the old ARC rule in the head, isn't it? I know, and I don't like to do that normally, but she's got a big old chance, and she really has. And then, of course, the classic, Roaring Lion. Will he go on dirt? That seems to be the question most people are asking. On the damn side of the pedigree, there's no reason to think he wouldn't, to be honest with you. So he must have a chance. The problem, of course, is his draw ain't great, which ain't helped him either. And he has, of course, drifted in the betting since the draw was made. Of the others, Side Bin Swore is going to send out Thunder Snow. Obviously, he's having a cracking end of the season, isn't he, Bin Swore? And Thunder Snow's no mug, obviously. So that must be on your short list. Accelerate for the Americans, favourite I think at the time I'm doing this on sort of Wednesday evening when I'm actually putting this video together. I don't know, I mean I've seen a couple of Americans talking about how he played up in the stalls last time and they're wondering if his mind is as much on the racing game as it once was. Obviously if it ain't, that's a concern. But the fact of the matter is he played up in the stalls and still won. So listen, he's got to be on your shortlist no matter what anyway. Simple as that. Catholic Boy is one that I sort of keep going back to. I've been watching the videos and watching the videos. I'll keep going back to this Catholic boy. You'll probably know him best from when he won the Travers Stakes last time, with Mendelssohn, of course, coming second to him in that race. It's a pretty decent bit of form. He's a 3-year-old. He appears to be on the up. He gets the allowances. Got to be on a short list. Got to be. And that man Baffett, I mentioned him again at the start. I'm going to mention him again at the end. He has McKinsey in this race. There's been a couple of bob for him. He's been shortening the markets out there. It's another one with a big chance. And I say, there it is. There's just a few of them that are on my mind, as it is at the moment for the Breeders' Cup on Saturday. Naturally, GerdiesGGs.com, the Breeders' Cup dedicated page, will be updated. All the bets I'm going to have will go onto that page, and of course they go across all the various different social media networks for you as well. Please do log on and take a look. Guys, it's nearly here. It's nearly here. 14 races over the 2 nights. It's going to be a blast, isn't it? It really is going to be a blast. I'm looking forward to it. As I say, I'll see you on the other side. Listen, be lucky, eh? Be lucky.